同学们好，今天我们学 comparison structure. We are going to learn the comparison structure for both in negative and positive form. We are going to compare the quality and the nature of two different subjects. For some of you, you can aim to give a degree of the difference to the comparison. So by that, I mean, for example, much more smaller, a lot more bigger, or a little bit smarter, or something like that. First, let's see how much you remember from the new words that we learned in the house topic. So match the words with the picture. Give yourself 5 minutes for this. You can pause the video to complete it. 好，对答案呢，拿出绿笔。一，卧室卧室是 bedroom G。二，浴室是 H bathroom where there is a bath。书房书房 B study。四，花园是 D garden。五，房子是 C house。六，厨房是 A， 厨房是 E kitchen。七，客厅是 F living room and 八，厕所是 I toilet。九，饭厅是 A dining room。 Now you may ask, what is the difference between 浴室 bathroom and 厕所 toilet? So the difference is 浴室 has a water radical. It refers to the place where you have a bath or shower. So that's 浴室. But for 厕所 it's just for toilet. That's 厕所. Okay, 好。跟我说比 means to compare. 比 There are 3 major points that we want to discuss today for the comparison structure. First is, how does the structure work? The structure of this comparison sentence pattern. 二, so don't use 很 in this structure. Never use 很 in this structure. 三, use 的多 or 多了 to express a lot more or much more. Okay, 好, now let's look at each point. So first, 比 means to compare to. And when you want to compare A and B, the structure goes like A, B, B, and plus the adjective. So for example, you want to say A is taller than B, then that is A compares to B, tall. Okay, so in English you have taller, but in Chinese you just say tall, so the bit of taller is indicated here by B. So don't worry about the taller or the ER ending or more beautiful using more, those kind of things. Just use the original adjective. 好, so for example, 我比弟弟高意思是 I compares to younger brother is tall. Now, in other words, I am taller than my younger brother. I'm taller than him. Okay, so you can see I is A and B is compare, and then little brother B, and then the word tall, 高, the adjective. Okay, so you can swap the adjective to something else. You can say I'm much, what should I say? Maybe smarter than my younger brother. So you can change 高 to 聪明. 聪明 that means clever. 聪明. 好. Another example. 听音乐比买东西有意思，什么意思？有意思 means interesting. So altogether, this means listening to music is more interesting than shopping. 明白吗？ So we are now using the verb object structure as the subject. So listening to music is A, shopping is B, and the adjective is interesting. 好。How do you say the living room is bigger than the dining room? So you will say 客厅比饭厅大，客厅比饭厅大，对吗？好，中文怎么说？ Listening to music is a lot more interesting than shopping. Now, a lot more, this is the degree of the comparison. So the degree is big degree. So if this is A, this is B, and this is the degree. So a lot. Now, to say a lot, we actually will add that margin, that degree, at the end of the sentence. So you still have the basic structure. A, B, B, adjective, but you add the margin at the end. The margin here is a lot. So now how do we say that? We will say 多了 for a lot. So 听音乐比买东西有意思多了. The structure is A, B, B, adjective plus 多了 at the end. If you don't want to add the margin, if you're just doing a basic comparison, A, B, B more interesting, then you can just stop here. But if you want to add a slight margin, you can carry on, extend it, adding 多了. 好，中文怎么说？ My older brother is a lot taller than me. 我哥哥比我高多了。我哥哥比我高多了。好 I hope you got this one right. The pattern is written there. Now there is actually another way to say a lot. So this one is 的多，的多。So for that same sentence, my older brother is a lot taller than me. You can also say 我哥哥比我高得多，高得多。So no matter you want to use 的多 or 多了 at the end of the sentence, both of them work. So it is really common to say either 多了 or 的多 for comparison structure when people speak in real life. So whichever way is easier for you to remember, you can use that. 好，想一想 think about it. 中文怎么说 How do you say this sentence? My family's garden is much prettier than his family's garden. My family's garden his family's garden. And also, how do you say pretty? Okay, so the sentence is 我家的花园比他家的花园美丽的多 or 美丽多了. So you can say 美丽 or you can say 漂亮 or 好看 both work. So 我家的花园 is my family's garden, and then compares to 他家的花园 his family's garden. 美丽 and the adjective is pretty 美丽 or 漂亮 or 好看 and then adding much. So that's the 多 or 多了 at the end of the sentence. 明白了吗? Do you understand it? Okay, now how do you say mom's study is much smaller than dad's study? 中文怎么说？好，中文是 妈妈的书房比爸爸的书房小得多。So we have 妈妈的书房 for A, 爸爸的书房 for B, and the adjective is small, 小, and then you have the much bit at the end of the sentence. 明白了吗？好。Now, what if it's not much more, it's just a little bit? Now, how do you say a little bit? So a little bit is 一点儿. Now, when you put that a little bit in comparison structure, where do you think it should go in the sentence? Do you think it should be normal way as it is now, or do you think it should be at the end of the sentence? If you think it's at the end of a sentence, you are right. So, my older brother is a little bit taller than me. 我哥哥比我高一点儿. So you still have the basic structure. 我哥哥 compares to 我, and then the adjective 高 tall. But you're adding the margin here at the end. Here the margin is just a little bit, so 一点儿. Now the structure goes like A 比 B adjective 一点儿，明白了吗？好，中文怎么说 ？Mom's study is a little bit smaller than Dad's study. 中文是妈妈的书房比爸爸的书房小一点儿，OK？So now it's time to write down the structure in your book. 写 the use of 比 so 比 is used to make comparisons. The basic structure is A 比 B plus adjective. There is no 很 don't use 很 in a comparison sentence. But if we want to emphasize the degree of difference, the margin, we can use 多了 or the 多, I forgot to say the 多 here. We can use 多了 or the 多 for a lot more, or we can use 一点儿 for a little bit after the adjective, so at the end of the sentence. Now the structure is in the yellow box. A 比 B adjective 的多 or 多了 A 比 B adjective 一点儿. Now make 3 sentences using the B structure to compare rooms in your house. You can also write other comparison structures using the personality, like the characteristics words we learned before, like smart, lazy, those kind of words. You can also use those to compare your family member or friends. It is very important that you make these sentences, because then you will think hard to apply this structure, and I will also be able to see if you understand it well. Now, for extension, try to use the margins, try to add like a little bit or a lot more for the comparison structure. The extension 2 is to translate the sentence into Chinese characters. My mom's bedroom is a lot bigger than my bedroom, but my bedroom is a little bit newer than theirs. So the word for new is 新. 新. 好, give yourself a good 10 to 15 minutes for these structures and sentences. 写. After you have finished, you can submit your work to the VLE task. Okay, if you want to make this a little bit more fun, you can also think about a person in your mind. Do not say who this person is, and make a comparison using 他, and I will guess who that one is. Okay, 好. That's it for today's lesson. It's a lot to take in. You can feel free to send me any questions, or to use the structure a little bit more to practice. 好，同学们再见。